Spark Books here. Today, I'm going to explain the book, Thanks for the Feedback, by Douglas Stone, Sheila Heen. Take care, enjoy the book, and have a nice day. Thanks for the Feedback is about learning from people and experiences, whether at home or at work. It sheds light on different types of feedback and their importance, and how you can take any kind of feedback in a positive, constructive way and use it to better yourself in your career and relationships. Key idea number 1. Different purposes are served by the 3 primary sorts of feedback. Have you ever received an exam paper with a grade and wondered, what do I make of this? You can't improve by looking at your grade. It's unhelpful. Appreciation, mentoring, and evaluation work best. Each serves a different purpose. Appreciation, coaching, and evaluation assist you realize where you stand and what's expected of you. Before a basketball game, your coach may give you a pep talk. He may remark great shot or keep it up from the sideline during the contest. He may examine your team's strengths and shortcomings after the game to help you train. Feedback depends on the situation. Appreciation after a hard day's work is crucial. Coaching on how to improve wouldn't assist in this case. When you need coaching, you're doing just fine won't help either. You need to know what kind of feedback will benefit you in various situations so you can seek it out. Be aware of your needs. Ask your lecturer for advice if you wish to create better papers. Listening to their comments will help you improve. Learn to determine your feedback needs. It'll be easier to obtain. Key idea number 2. Know your feedback so you can respond. We've all been there. Someone tells you what you're doing wrong, but you know they're the one who's incorrect. We dismiss feedback if we feel this way. Sometimes criticism like this isn't wrong, we just don't grasp it. Before getting defensive, try to comprehend the person offering you comments. Find critical feedback points. Our feedback can be vague. The individual saying and the person receiving these comments may have distinct meanings. You're a risky driver is an example. If you know the context and why the comment was made, it would be easy to understand. It might mean you're on your phone every time I'm in the car with you. If you get a comment like that, ask yourself why. You must also comprehend the feedback's purpose. Should you drive more carefully in general? Have a hands-free phone installed? Consider a person's opinion of you when analyzing feedback. We can't objectively evaluate ourselves. A 2007 survey showed this. It found that 90% of managers thought they performed well. Because 90% of them can't be in that 10%, they're not all right. Self-awareness is challenging. Don't discount other people's opinions, especially if they have more knowledge. Imagine someone critiques your management style because they have access to new sales numbers or clients say your tone is disrespectful. If you thought you were all right, others must think differently. Take use of this information. Key idea number 3. Feedback is essential for identifying blind spots. Have you ever impersonated someone and heard them declare, "I don't do that," while everyone else laughed and agreed with you? We're usually shocked by others' opinions. Use feedback to identify your blind spots and improve your future feedback. We don't perceive ourselves like others do. Our facial expressions reveal much more than we realize. Since your coworkers have complained that you're frigid, you want to be nice. You smile at them. If you don't mean it, they'll know. We can't judge our own tone of speech since we can't hear it. Because you're used to it, you may not notice your hostile tone. To you, it may look normal. Self-perception is subjective. We blame circumstances when we make a mistake. We're more prone to be blamed by others. You'll probably make an excuse if someone calls you unpleasant. You'll say that day was stressful, i.e., circumstances, but the other person might think that's your personality. We also assess ourselves by our intentions and others by their deeds. Do you recall that fake smile? You tried to be friendlier, but your coworkers believed you were fake. You may appear less nice to them. The idea is that we tend to see ourselves more favorably than others do, so we must be careful. Positive people are more prone to be upset by negative remarks. Use feedback to identify your blind spots and improve your future feedback. Key idea number 4. Relationships affect how we interpret feedback. Why do certain people's criticisms make you angry or dismissive, while others don't? Frustration will prevent us from learning from the feedback. Both sides will be resentful because we can't develop. We interpret feedback based on our relationship with the person delivering it. We don't consider all feedback. It counts if we trust and believe the giver. For instance, you might ignore a colleague who you think wants your job. Are his intentions good? What do they know about it? You might ask yourself when your best friend gives you career advice. We can't grow with these judgments. Your competitor may have a valid point. Regardless of their occupation, your best friend may have fantastic ideas. Feedback puts strain on our closest relationships. We want a lot from a partnership, like appreciation and independence. Feedback endangers both. When someone tells you what to do, it often feels like they're trying to manage or better you, implying you weren't great to them in the first place. Feedback mixes personal interaction dynamics. For instance, you grumble about your partner giving you a bad gift. They may accuse you of ungratefulness, right? You think your lover doesn't care about your wishes. You're unappreciative of them. Frustration will prevent us from learning from the feedback. Both sides will be resentful because we can't develop. Key idea number 5. Relationships constrain feedback. Simply being different causes tension. I want to clean up after supper, but you want to relax, right? We need to stand back to see what affects our relationships. This helps us take criticism and improve. Work and family roles might hinder communication. A policeman and a speeding driver may share a lot, yet their roles make them enemies. They are inflexible and create strain. Your relationship may be complicated if your work friend becomes your boss. They won't know how to treat you. Environment affects how two people interact. In an automobile collision, don't blame one driver. Think big. Perhaps a third automobile or street lights were at fault. Approach relationships the same way. If a youngster is mean to other kids, maybe their family rewards dominance. Another youngster may be urging them to be mean. This approach explains the child's conduct, not justifies it. Understanding feedback maximizes its value. Consider your feelings toward the person and their feelings toward you when receiving feedback. Take 2 steps back and consider other factors. Key idea number 6. Brain wiring and emotions affect feedback analysis. Have you noticed that some people absorb feedback better than others? Brain wiring affects our feedback acceptance. Genes determine our well-being. Some folks are naturally cheerful. Genes account for at least 50% of these differences. Some folks are generally more emotional. Kids show this. Some kids are hypersensitive to acute noises, while others are not. Naturally, feedback sensitivity differs. Happier people respond better to favorable input. Negative feedback affects people with lower happiness levels more. Our brain affects feedback recovery speed. Richard Davidson revealed in a 2002 study that we can retain pleasant emotions for up to 3,000% longer than negative ones. Our left and right brains absorb negative and positive stimuli differently. Negative feedback slows recovery in right brain people. Unexpectedly, we all have one issue unrelated to brain shape. We feel terrible emotions more than good ones. For survival, our brains identify threats. Our brain wiring helps us accept ourselves. Genes are simply one factor. Life, emotions, and choices make up the rest. Key idea number 7. Develop a development mentality to accept criticism. Someone criticizes you, and you get defensive and upset. What makes feedback threatening except our genes? Also, our mindset. We typically characterize ourselves as nice people or hard workers. Labels are rigid. Negative feedback threatens our identity. You can be hurt to hear, "You weren't helpful in our task yesterday," and reject the comments. Change your mindset from fixed to growing. We tend to view our personalities as fixed, which is unhelpful. Grow instead. Carol Dweck investigated this by giving youngsters a puzzle. She observed that youngsters with a growth mentality handled puzzle failure better since they wanted to develop. Puzzle-solving kids felt discouraged. You'll grow if you see challenges as opportunities and feedback as learning. You improve by practicing. A growth mentality will inspire you to improve. Positivity boosts personal growth. Self-confidence won't make you a tennis pro. As observed, genes determine some things. Keep an optimistic attitude and healthy growth mentality to increase many of life's most vital traits, such as intelligence, creativity, compassion, and confidence. Whether you agree or disagree, most feedback may help you improve. We improve by openly absorbing feedback. Personal growth is limitless if you can digest feedback well. To view more content like this, subscribe. Don't forget to like and turn on notifications. The channel really benefits from it. I appreciate you being here.